Welcome to The Creative Influencer, where we discuss all things creative with an emphasis on influencers. The Creative Influencer is hosted by John Pfeiffer. John is an entertainment attorney in Santa Monica, California, who represents influencers and other creatives.
This is episode 4 of the first season of the Creative Influencer podcast. Our guest today is Amber Scholl. When Amber graduated from Pepperdine University, she had dreams of becoming the biggest entertainment reporter in the world, the female Ryan Seacrest. Instead, she drove for Postmates. At her personal low point, Amber turned to YouTube and started to film all of the things that, in her words, made her life look great when it wasn't. Her interview is an inspirational story about following your dreams. So, Amber, thank you for sitting down with me.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
I checked last night. You have almost 2 million YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
You have over 500,000 Instagram followers.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about your journey to this point.
Ooh.
I know. But before I start, how many pairs of shoes do you own?
Oh my God! Wow. You know, I would let you see my room, but it is not acceptable. Literally hundreds. Truly hundreds. Okay. Yeah.
It comes through on the videos. Okay. You went to Pepperdine, right?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. And that's where I met you.
Yes.
You took my class.
Way back in the day.
Way back in the day. And if you remember, you filled out a questionnaire, and I write down everybody's career aspirations. Because I track them.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I bet I said some weird things.
Your career aspiration was to become the female Ryan Seacrest as the biggest entertainment reporter in the world.
Oh, well, yeah, that sounds like something I would have written.
Okay, so I want to talk about your journey in two phases. Your journey to Pepperdine and your journey after Pepperdine.
All right.
You grew up in Virginia?
I did. I grew up in Virginia, went to middle school, high school in Arizona, and then went to college in California, and then I have never left.
So how did you pick Pepperdine? How did you pick California?
I always knew I wanted to live in LA because, you know, in my little sheltered bubble, I was like, oh, well, LA is where everything happens, so I must go there. And so I made it my life's mission to get there.
When did you know you wanted to be a personality?
You know, if you ask my parents, they would say day one of birth. Like, they knew something was up because I would, when they would be filming, like, home videos, I would always crash into, like, they'd be filming my sister walking, and we'd be like, oh my God, Alyssa's walking. It's my sister's name. And I would just be like, hello! And I'd, like, crash the whole scene.
You were the first photo bomber.
Yeah, I was the first, the original photo bomber. But yeah, very young. Like, I was probably... I think I wanted to be on TV when I was like 5. So
you were an ice skater when you were little?
I was, yes.
See, I told you I watched these videos.
That was something, huh?
And you were in pageants?
I did do, I dabbled, yes.
Yes. Were you in front of a camera?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, like I said, my parents loved to film our lives growing up. But yeah, I think being on stage in general, like performing with ice skating, I did gymnastics and I did dance and I did all sorts of things. So I was always doing something.
And I'm going to get ahead of myself, but being in front of a live audience, do you have any problem with that? I
love that the most because it gives you such like, I don't want to say a high, but almost like it's such a thrill to be live in action doing something.
Right.
So fun.
That adrenaline.
Yeah.
Now, you said you had a sister. You have 2 sisters?
I do have 2 sisters, yeah.
What's their reaction to this?
They're both younger than me, and it's also funny because they think it's really cool, but they're not as involved in the internet as me. Like, one of them is kind of detached from it all. She's like, oh, yeah, it's really cool. Like, you know, you have a job. I'm like, thanks, Alyssa.
Are they on social media?
Yeah, my littlest sister loves it and thinks it's so cool, but also she knows me, so she's like, why do people think you're interesting? I'm like, first of all, rude, but she thinks it's fun.
What has been your parents' reaction?
They are so proud, and they were confused at first, let me tell you. They were like, I don't understand how this is going to pay your bills. But truly, my dad has always been so supportive, and so is my mom, and they're like so, to see it now, they watch all my videos, they comment on them, they love them, they're always showing people like, look, my daughter is on the internet. And they're like,
and I'm bouncing around, but you mentioned they comment on them.
Yeah.
Do you read your comments?
I do read the comments. I don't read all of the comments just because, honestly, I would try. In the beginning, I did, when you would just get like, a couple hundred, you could actually read them all, and I would. But if you get, 5,000, 12,000 comments, you just can't do it.
How do you deal with, the positive comments are easy.
Yeah, you're like,
it's like, they're right.
You're right, I am so funny.
They're insightful. How do you deal with the negative comments?
I really wish that I could unread a lot of the negative comments, but it's okay because you think about it. It's like, I know people would never say that in real life. And sometimes I do respond. Like, if someone says something really nasty, I'll be like, well, thanks for watching. Like, whatever. And people will respond almost immediately. Oh my God, I didn't think you would read it. Oh my God, I love you. Oh my God, hi. I'm like, what? You just called me ugly. Huh?
That's interesting. So that's the tack you take, the mental tack you take, is that they wouldn't say this in person?
Yeah, like, it's okay. You have to have something going on to leave hate comments on someone's life. Something has to be deeper than that. So you can't take it too seriously. So, it's what it is.
Okay, there was a video you did, 10 Things You Don't Know About Me.
Yes.
Yes. And I didn't know those 10 things.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But you said that you actually went to college. Why would you say it that way?
Yeah. People, I wouldn't say it's a character in my videos. It is me, but it's definitely a caricature of me. Like, I always, sometimes I'm having an off day, but I'm still like, I'm not going to show that.
It's Amber large.
Yeah, it's me on times 10. So people often mistake me as being kind of dumb because my videos are a little bit vapid in general. Like, it's me gluing money onto a dress, or like me shopping for shoes. It's like, how smart could she really be? So people often think I didn't, because I don't want to generalize, but a lot of people who do social media didn't have like a degree, or they just got into it young. So people are like, wait, really? When I mention it, I'm like, yeah, really, actually.
When people talk to you about your presence online, do they assume that your personality online is exactly your personality offline?
When I meet, people are always surprised when they meet me in real life. They'll either say, wow, you're exactly like you are in your videos. And my friends will say, you are like you are in your videos, because I am. It's just a little bit of a heightened version of me. Right. So it's just, you put a camera on anyone and they like act slightly different. So I put a camera on myself and I'm just like, oh, well, I need to be a little bit more cheery today. Keep it interesting. Like, if I'm monotone, it's very dull. So yeah, but I try to keep it pretty real.
So I want to take you now back. I said I wanted to talk about the journey after Pepperdine. I watched that video too.
My favorite part of my life, yes.
I know. But it's not the interesting part, but it is interesting because when people look at the numbers now, they don't know what it took to get there.
Yeah, it's
so you graduated Pepperdine, and what was the first thing you did?
I did. I graduated in 2015, and like I had said on my little forum, I wanted to be, the next Ryan Seacrest, and I've always been a really big dreamer and always had lots of ideas in my head of what I wanted to do, and nothing has ever gotten in the way of them. So I was like, oh, well, of course I can just walk into E and be hired immediately as the next $1 million contract. Like, why would that not happen? So when that did not work, I was like, oh, wow, reality check, okay. So I had to figure out what I was going to do. And so I obviously downgraded my ideas of what I could do, and slowly realized that no matter how far I downgraded them, it still wasn't working. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be homeless. I don't know what I'm going to do. So yeah, I ended up applying to all sorts of jobs, things I was not qualified for at all, like accounting jobs. I'm terrible at math.
How did you? Yeah, well, that was the interesting thing. Is I heard you say you applied to 16 accounting jobs. How did you pick accounting?
My dad was an accountant, so I was like, maybe I can do it too, which I cannot. But yeah, I was like, he can help me. Like, maybe I can just be like, runs in the family. Like, my cover letters, if I could pull some of them up, you would cry. Like, they were so funny. They made no sense. I was literally leaving smiley faces in the bottom. I was like, please, for the love of God, hire me. It just was not working. So that's why I ended up doing background acting, which was actually, if you want to call it that, background acting is a nice term, extra work, like being an extra in movies, which was fun, like the first 2 times I did it. And then it was not fun anymore. But it still haunts me to this day.
There's a lot of standing around.
Yes, literally people still screenshot photos like, is this you and New Girl? I'm like, unfortunately, that is me.
Now, your LinkedIn profile lists your job title.
I still have one of those. Wow.
Yes, you do.
Who knew?
As an actress.
That's funny.
Do you consider yourself an actress?
No. In a way, I guess. But overall, no. I mean, I actually am a member of SAG, which is also funny. But yeah, in a way, I guess, because social media is kind of like, I mean, I would say nothing on it is real, but we're going to get into a deeper conversation. Right. It's real in a sense. It's always a glamorized version of what's real. So sometimes it is a little bit showy, but overall, I mean, I can't act for my life.
I've heard it said that Instagram's the perfect you.
Oh, it is. I mean, that sometimes I look at my page, I'm like, oh, this girl is amazing. I want to be her.
I mean, does anybody post bad pictures?
No, I know. Sometimes I wish I did. I was like, I need to keep this a little better than this. I was like, her hair, everything. Wow, goals.
Okay, but let me take you back. So you're applying for accounting jobs.
Yeah, I was thinking this would be great.
What were you doing after that?
Driving for Postmates also. So of course nothing worked. I get no jobs, first of all. Yeah. So I was like, I can't even it felt like trying to talk to men. I was like, no one's even calling me back. Like, what the heck? So yeah, not going well. I'm driving for Postmates to make extra cash, which I also actually weirdly enjoyed at the time. I was very much like not wanting to be in the status quo 9-to-5 job because I had an internship where I did that. It was like, never again. However, then when I got desperate, I was like, okay, yes, 9-to-5. I am here for it. And I got hired. So I was like, wow, what do I do? So yeah, I was driving for Postmates around, trying to enjoy my time, delivering food for people. I delivered food to a couple of like random actors and actresses. That was so funny. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, that didn't go super well, really, in general. I'm making like $4 a day. Like, you're making no money.
So you tell a story about getting in an accident.
Yeah, I was dumb. I literally it was the 4th of July, and so they pay you like by the delivery. So it's like, I figured I had literally no money. I think my entire life was worth $200 at the time. Yeah. So I really wanted to get a smoothie, and they're like $8. I was like, I cannot buy this. But it's like, if I do like 2 deliveries this morning and I make $10, it'll be like kind of like the smoothie's only like $1. Doing my math in my head, which isn't even correct, but that's fine. So
you would have been a great accountant.
I would have been the best accountant. Hire me, guys. I'm available. No. But yeah, I thought that was going to be a great idea. So I went out to deliver a smoothie on 4th of July. I was like, all right, or like from the place, because I wanted to get one. So I deliver one, and I'm driving, and I was like, where is this person's address? And I'm like driving like fast down this street, looking for the person's address out my window, and literally like plow into a parked car. Like, just like ruined it. I was like, oh. I didn't even know what to do, because I was like, well, I cannot pay for this. I know this is going to be more than my lifetime is worth. So I was like, what do I do? So of course I called my insurance. They're like, oh, well, you're driving for business. So not only are you not covered, we're dropping you. And I was like, but I'm going to die, though. So, yeah, that was a debacle and a half. Eventually, Postmates insurance ended up covering it after, like, a bunch of legal shenanigans that you would probably know about that I could not explain. And, yeah, but then I couldn't drive for Postmates anymore, so I literally had no job. And I was like, what?
So and I'm not going to put you through it, because when you did the video, you started crying. I promised I wouldn't make you cry.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I tried to laugh about it now, because in hindsight, I'm like, that was so dumb. But, you know.
But you had, and I had not heard it called this before, but a mood board?
Yes.
Essentially a vision board, a mood board.
Yeah, I still have them in my room. I look at them every day.
And you had on it, well, first you said you threw it away, because you hadn't
did throw it away.
But on there was YouTube.
Yes.
Why YouTube?
I couldn't tell you the true reason, aside if I really believe in divine intervention, like completely, wholeheartedly, because I don't know what else would have possessed me to do that when there was no reason for me to do it.
And that was pre you being on YouTube.
Yeah, this was before. I put that on there because I was like, I want to start a YouTube channel, just because I knew people were killing it on there. And I was like, well, I mean, if no one's going to hire me to do what I want to do, like hosting, whatever, it's like, I could do it myself and put it on there, and maybe someone will see that I'm good at it. And
so to avoid taking you through the crying phase, the video's online. You can check it out. Yeah. But then the next day, so July 5th, you started recording.
I was like, I am going to do this.
And how did you decide what genre to start in?
It was honestly, I had a couple of videos that I'd done years prior that were on there, like some of my old hosting videos for my internships, and I had like maybe 2 other videos that I had filmed years before that. And I was like, all right, well, what am I going to do? Because I'm not a makeup artist. I'm I always like to joke that I'm like literally the most talentless person. It's like who happened to, it worked out. He's like, I can't really do anything. Can't sing, can't dance, can't act, can't do much. It's like, what am I going to film then? So people had always asked me, the reason I filmed the one video that I did was I was working on set of a Toyota commercial doing background, and I was complaining about being broke. I was like, I have no money, I'm gonna die, like blah, 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 blah. And my friend was like, oh, what do you mean? You don't look broke at all on Instagram. You look like you have $1 million. Like, what? I'm like, oh, huh? I was so confused. And they were like, no, you're really good at like, you got marble floors, like you got such nice clothes, you look like, you know, you got $1 million. And I was like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, I don't know. She was like, yeah, no, you're great at making cheap things look expensive. And it was like, it's like, oh, well then, that's what I'm going to do. So I decided, I was like, okay, so I'm going to film all the things that make my life look great when it's not. And so I started to film my marble floors, my vanity mirror, like all my clothes, where I get them.
And then you had a breakout video. Which one was that?
Yeah, it was called How to Make Cheap Clothes Look Expensive. That one really did it in combination with the DIY marble floors video. It was like, that literally did it. I had 0 subscribers, maybe like 1,000, and then 100,000 in like 2 days.
And do you know how that happened?
You know, again, I don't know. I'm gonna go back to divine intervention. I think God had something to do with it. Like not even something, everything to do with it, because there's no reason that happened at all. And it was like my breaking point was gonna be like, as if I didn't already have plenty of them.
Right.
The true, it's not gonna continue after this was gonna be in like a day. Like I was at dinner with my sister and her boyfriend at the time. We were talking and I was like, you know, I think I'm just gonna have to be okay with like never having what I wanted. Like I'm gonna be complacent with my life and it's going to be okay and I'm gonna be happy like this. And
so where were you when you looked at the statistics and saw how many people had?
I was all over the place, but I was at home mostly. Like I kept checking. I was like, wait, what? Because it was so fast and you could see it. Like every 5 minutes you'd refresh it and it'd be like 10,000 more. I was like, I know that. I didn't even have my videos monetized at the time. So I was like, wait, is this really happening? Like, is this going to work? What do I even do? And I remember I go downtown all the time for my videos, and I was driving downtown to pick up something or other. I don't even remember what it was, but I was driving, and I remember just playing this same song the whole way there. It was like some stupid random, I don't remember, it was like Camilla some song, and I was like, okay, I'm listening to it, and I just kept checking. Even at traffic stops, I kept checking it, like refreshing it. It was like, that was because when you're at 10,000, that's cool, right, but you can't make a life out of that. But it was like 30,000, next stop like 40,000, next one 50,
Wait,
60.
so you're the one that's checking it at the stoplights?
Oh yeah, I'm checking it. I am like out here being unsafe. I was like refresh, and I was sobbing in the car. I was like, I know that this is like, it's happening. Like something really cool is happening. And when you know that and you can watch it in real time is really interesting. And I knew that it was going to be something cool. When I got home later that day and it was like over 100, I was like, I literally called my extra job. I was like, I am quitting. And I had made no money. I was like, I'm done. I am quitting extra. They're like, no, you're booked on Tuesday. I was like, no, I'm not coming in.
So it was at that moment when you knew that this was going to work.
Yeah, I was like, I know you can do something with this. And it was like, I just knew. It was like, wow, all of the things that I always thought, like a piece of me always knew I was going to do YouTube. That doesn't make much sense, but it did. Like the first YouTube video I ever watched when I was like 12, I remember watching it and it had like, I don't know, 6 million views, which at the time was like
huge.
The only thing, like there were maybe 5 videos on YouTube, right, and that was one of them. And I remember watching it. My friends were like, wow, this is so crazy. I was like, we could make this bail. Like, how come we're not making this at 12 or however old I was? And when I was doing background and Postmates, people would always make little weird comments like, you know, you're really funny at telling stories, or like, you should make a YouTube channel. I could listen to you talk forever. And I'm like, what would I even say? I don't have anything to say. So it's really funny to look back in hindsight. It's like, damn, a little piece of me always knew I was going to do this. I just never had the balls to do it.
You had a funny comment that this is right before you started YouTube, that you had a variety of jobs and hadn't bedazzled anything for a year.
Yes!
I heard that and I wrote it down. Tell me about that.
I love bedazzling things, and which is even funnier because, I mean, you can tell I love the crystals. I love it, live for it. And of course today I'm wearing a sweater. But yeah, I love, my whole life I've loved crystals. I mean, started, doing friggin' ice skating competitions, and those were sparkly and like ballet, and I always loved rhinestones. And in high school, people, I did not enjoy high school. Let's be clear. But people always made fun of me for wearing like a ridiculous amounts of bling. Scottsdale, Arizona is like queen land of tacky ass blingy things. Like you got all the crazy moms with the crazy sparklies, and I was like, that is my ultimate goal, is to be that. So I wore like crystals up and down my arms, bracelets, necklaces, really cheap ones, like $1. And I was like, this looks incredible. I look like $1 million. And I loved it. And people dragged me, and my license plate literally was SPRKLN, Sparklin, and I had a pink rhinestone license plate on it, and people bullied me so hard for it. I decided I stopped liking them. I stopped doing it, and I was like, damn, like that makes me sad.
Did you do any of this in college?
Yes, I did. I did, but again, people kind of dragged me for it a lot, actually. So I stopped doing it.
No, I mean, it's not. It doesn't fit in the Pepperdine mold.
No, it does not. I was like out here in high heels in my 8 a.m.s, a black eyeshadow, and like crystal chokers, and people were like, "Wow, a prostitute," and I was like, "No, like I'm just trying to have a good time." Yeah. So it was. Yeah, I stopped doing it in college. I would always make my own Halloween costumes, and I loved doing that.
I gotta hear about those.
Oh boy, I have some fascinating images on my old Facebook if I could log into it. But I loved it. I always I made things all the time when I couldn't have them. I would make them, like going to concerts. You know, you'd be like, I love you, Britney Spears, or whatever you would say. And I never really even thought about it as being crafty or anything that no one, like I thought everyone could do that. I was like, well, of course you can just do it. It's very easy, but no one did it. So it's funny now, like when I got back into it, I was like, I love this so much. After realizing, like, it really doesn't care what people think. It's like, wow, I genuinely love being sparkly and like, I love being tacky. Like I live for that. So what's the big deal? Especially now I can buy, real diamonds. That's even more fun.
Tell me about the first time someone recognized you.
Oh my God. I think the first time someone recognized me outside of your friends said. Yeah, outside, I mean, my friends knew, but whatever. But it was actually because at the time that my YouTube blew up, it was right before, when did I go to London? Like November. So it was like in the end of October. And I was going to London that next week, which I had spent my last, again, God knew. I was like, I need to visit. My friend Bailey was studying abroad in London. I was like, well, you know what? I need to go visit her because I've been saying I'm going to visit her for like 2 years and I never went. Like, I'm going to go. And at the time, I think I don't even know, but I got a great deal. It was like $200 one way. And I think my net worth at the time was $350. So I was like, I didn't buy a return flight. I bought a one-way flight there. And a week or two before was when my channel like exploded. So I was like, and I was there, and no one had recognized me because I was just, like, at home, But when we were at Harrods in London, I was walking around.
You got recognized in Harrods?
Yes! I was walking around, and some girl was like, oh, Amber? And I was like,
yes.
Hello? And she was like, I love your videos. And at the time, I think I had, 100,000 something subscribers. So that is a lot, but... Right. As far as the whole world goes, like to run into someone across continents, I was like, that is insane. But yeah, we took a picture and it was super cool. And I vividly remember that. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, someone stopped me and said they loved me.
How often does it happen now?
It happens often and also not. I always joke that like I'm famous on the internet and not in real life because... To be honest, I go out like this a lot and no one recognizes me, but...
Which you're bedazzled right now.
Yes. So sometimes I wear a hat, no one's going to say anything. It's when I go to places that I film a lot, like when I'm downtown in Forever 21, at Michael's, any of the craft stores, I'm recognized like 10 times. Like everyone almost will recognize me because it's the demographic, Right. But if I'm just at the local grocery store, nobody knows me.
You have, as I walked in this morning, you have projects in process.
Yes, always.
Where do you get your ideas for the projects?
It depends. I have a lot of ideas in my head all the time, but some of the best ideas come from people commenting on my videos. Like I said, I don't read all of them, but as many of them as I can, I will read.
Like, why don't you do this?
Yeah, and people come up with amazing ideas. Like, my most viewed video ever was the trash bag dress video, and that literally came from people just being funny. They're like, I bet you could wear a trash bag and look cute. And I'm like, oh, well.
Well, you just posted a wearing fake money video.
I did. I have stacks of hundreds over there if you want to laugh at them. I kept them. I was like, I'm going to keep these. I feel like a baller with these. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just like you come up with things because people will suggest them. Like I took a picture of a shoe that had money on it. And people were like, I bet you could make this. I was like, wow, you're right. I probably could.
Do you save this stuff when you're done with it?
I do. I have a whole box full of. My mom has been trying to convince me to throw them away for like years, like, why do you need a toilet paper wedding dress? It's just clogging up your storage. I'm like, I spent 50 hours on that. I'm going to keep it. Go wear it to my own wedding. No, not really, but I need to keep stuff.
Which transitions in, how has this affected your personal life? I mean, because, and I'll tell you where I'm coming from, is I'm watching some of the videos and I'm thinking, I could date somebody for 2 years and not know as many personal details as I know now. So how has it helped? Has it hurt? Or has there been any impact?
You know, I don't know. I mean, sometimes, what do I even say to this question? I don't even know. I think it makes people, in a way, like, she's out here crying. Shut up. This is my friend who just laughs at me all day. This is what my friends do. I tell them about my life and they laugh at me. But, yeah, it's like, people know a lot about you if they know what you do. And so if they find out, then they instantly know so many things. It's like, I'm out here admitting stuff that I would not tell people on a first date, second date, third date.
But isn't that a good thing, though, if they've seen that and then still want to date you?
Yeah, I guess theoretically that takes a lot of balls to still want to date me after watching my videos, to be honest. But yeah, it's like, I feel like people, in a way, like, you meet a lot of people who also do YouTube, so then it's like, well, we all do it, so it's like, not, you know, I could find out a bunch of stuff about you too. So that's okay, but yeah, it's always funny when people know or don't know, because if I mention it, like, a lot of times I just won't say anything. Like, yeah, like, you know, I do social media. Like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, mm-hmm. But then so, like, what? I'm like, and then they'll watch it and like, oh, wow, that's cool. But they respect you a little more in a way, because, I mean, I could drag you pretty hard online if you're going to be mean to me. I'm not saying I would do that, disclaimer, but like, also I would though. So.
Okay, I'm going to switch to some just YouTube questions. Ooh.
Let's do it.
How do you continue to grow your following?
You know, it's very YouTube is really cool, because I feel like other platforms you have to really like try to do stuff that's like growing or whatever, like worry about all the analytics and whatever. But YouTube is fun because even if I post nothing, all of my videos are still there, out existing. So people will see them and subscribe. So it's like I can do literally nothing and to still get people to follow me. But it's fun because when you post something, it's like so many new people see it, because especially depending on what you're posting, like if I post a shopping video, that's going to hit a demographic, versus if I post a makeup video, which I should never post makeup videos, first of all, let's be clear, but sometimes I do anyway. And that hits a totally other demographic. And it's like, you got 20 million people here watching and 30 million people here watching, and they all combine. And it's like, damn, there's a lot of people watching the internet. It's crazy.
If you had to start over.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But I mean, you know, if you were to start over to build your following, what would you do the same and what would you do differently?
You know, in an interesting way, I think there is nothing I would do differently, because I had actually story time. I had started my channel multiple times in the past and like tried to do things that I thought would do well, like
tours of Pepperdine?
Yeah, that was not to toot my own horn, but I knew that was a good idea. And a lot of the videos that I did, I knew were good ideas because I was like, okay, so I have nobody following me currently. If I post something, nobody is going to see it. No one's going to know. YouTube's not going to care and whatever. But I posted that knowing that I would have killed for a video of Tour of Pepperdine. So I was like, okay, well, if, 100,000 people want to know what Pepperdine looks like, anyone who's going to Pepperdine or is even slightly interested is going to Google it, and I'm going to be the first thing they're going to watch it.
Did you ever hear back from Pepperdine?
No one ever mentioned it. I was like, I think this is probably illegal that I even did this, but no one ever mentioned it, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, it's still up there, but yeah, that was a good idea, because I know, like, I wanted to post things that no one else had posted, and I knew that would be the only things if people searched it.
Right.
So that was smart on my end.
Self-reflection time. Because you actually went to college. Do you consider yourself to be an influencer?
I would like to say no, because I don't particularly love the term. However, I once watched an interview with Oprah and Kourtney Kardashian, and she was like, you're famous, right? And Kourtney was like, I don't feel like I am. And it was like, huh? So I realized that you can like showcase things and influence people in a way, quote unquote, but it's more like I just am trying to have fun with my own life and like share that. So if people are intrigued to like buy what I'm wearing because I'm wearing it. Right.
Where do you see your next couple years?
Hopefully doing more. I love making YouTube videos, don't get me wrong, but I want to do that and more. Like, I want to create a whole big empire. I want to start a clothing line. I want to do a shoe line, an eyelash line. Like, I want to kind of take over the world also. Like I kind of said, I want to be the next Ryan Seacrest, but maybe we're going to do it in a different way. We're going to take over the world, you know, on a different tour.
Second to last question. Knowing what you know now, if you could get a mulligan and go talk to your younger self, what would you tell yourself?
Oh my God. You know, I think about this all the time, and I often tell people, like, wow, what I would give to be able to go back and just say, like, it's going to be okay, or there's truly a lot of things that I would love to go back and say, but I think the biggest thing is if I could truly go back to, like, freshman year of college me with all these big dreams and whatever, like, my mental state was different at many different points of my life. So if I could go back to her then and just be like, honestly, never let this die. Like, keep that. The kind of childish, like, well, I can do anything I want to do. Like, what age is it that you always are encouraging kids? Like, yes, like, you can be anything you want to be. And then at a certain point, we stop telling them that. And we're like...
And then it's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, it's like, actually, no, you have to do this. You have to do this, and this. It's like, no.
You can't play football. You can't go to space.
And it's not true. Like, you truly can do anything. And I wish I could tell her to never let that go, because when I did, truly a piece of me died with that. And because it was such a big part of my identity. And then realizing it now, like, to keep going at something even when everyone is telling you not to do it, or like it's never going to work, and then to have it work, I mean, I would bet my life on saying you can chase your dreams and make them come true if you really want it badly enough.
This is the perfect place to stop. Where can people find you?
Find me on YouTube.
And what is the channel?
If you type in Amber Shopping, Amber DIY, it'll come up. Amber Scholl is my name, then same for Instagram, Twitter, yada yada.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
That's it for this time. If you enjoyed our podcast, please write a review on iTunes and tell your friends to subscribe. If you have any questions about influencers or suggestions for future episodes, email them to John at Pfeiffer@pfeifferlaw.com. Thank you for listening.